Pinnacle. This one is a little more choppy and interesting. It's one of the largest solution providers here in the South African market. It is a company that has multiple agencies for external branded IT goods, and then also does all of the implementation solutions and other stuff. They've got a structured finance unit as well called Centrofin. They got into a bit of a scrape about 2 years ago where one of their senior executives was accused of paying a bribe effectively to the SA police service with regard to getting a contract. That case, however, was dropped. The NPA, which is not a first, I must tell you, couldn't get the case together. So I don't know whether that tells you that all is good or whether it was just badly prosecuted. But in any event, market capitalization, after initially taking a bit of a dive on that news, is sort of stabilized at around the 2 billion rand mark. Price to earnings ratio 8.22, not currently paying dividends. So Arnold Fourie and his team were at pains to say, look, this is all nonsense. There was no such thing. The recent results looked okay. So that's all good and well, but the share price will reveal that it hasn't really sort of flown back up again. It's not back in favor yet.
Yeah, definitely not. And which, I mean, if you look at it, obviously there was that whole cloud. They did report, perhaps a little bit of a stumble in results as well, but definitely nothing that should have, allowed the share price to sell off that. I mean, I remember it at the time. There was a lot of worry in the market as well that because of obviously the court case, they would lose a lot of their government contracts. So I think that also helped just exacerbate the fear. Then you had, it was a big stock to trade on derivative products as well.
There it is.
And the bank started hiking the margins as well. So suddenly, it fell out of favor among traders. And I think that's what suppressed perhaps the recovery. But I mean, looking at the company itself, I mean, it's been criticized a little bit for being a little bit too leveraged. Its debt to equity was very high. Also perhaps not cash generative enough. And the set of results we got out yesterday, I mean, showed them, 33% up, cash-wise, and bringing down that debt-to-equity ratio to, I think, 50% from 77%.
So it's almost as though they've kind of gone back to their knitting.
Yeah, they did, and they listened to the market, they listened to what everyone wanted, and they seem to have delivered. And I mean, obviously we got a big re-rating yesterday in the share price, but still nowhere near the 20 level the way it used to be. But I still think a quality operation, and if it proves its earnings, it could be quite exciting for a recovery play.
Okay, so one of those that does present quite well, and there was something about a change of financial treatment with regard to Centrofin and all that, but I suppose that's all somewhat irrelevant. In the long term, it's all about whether they can drive new product sales. Hot or not? You seem to be tending towards hot on the basis that maybe it's on the road to recovery and it hasn't yet.
We actually started buying it in the sell-off, and I mean we've held it for ages down here. So it's I still think that you will get a recovery up to 20 rand.
Okay, good. And we know that the South African government is remaining active. It must do all of the upgrades and then their corporate clientele as well. So I'm going to go with hot on this one too. Why not? Interesting. Getting all positive today.